మాట్లాడేమన్నా గట్టిగా యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి అ లిటిల్ లౌడ్.
Hello audience, this is Ashish accompanying my friend Uma Shankar, the host of this podcast.
Good, thanks. Hello everybody. That is, I think, world's first podcast where a guest is introducing the host.
Help the Blind Foundation presents Yours Accessibly, a limited series podcast bringing accessibility conversations to your drawing room, raw, real, and relatable. Thanks for tuning in.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Yours Accessibly by Help the Blind Foundation. In today's episode, we have my friend Ashish. Ashish is a teacher and a very avid Android user. So in this episode, we're going to talk about the end user experience of accessibility, especially from the Android or the smartphone perspective. But also, we'll see if we can explore other assistive tech and talk about the end user experience of various accessibility devices. Welcome to the episode, Ashish.
Thank you very much. And one more thing, he mentioned that I'm a very avid Android user. I don't know how avid I am, but he's the right person to certify because he has been a good friend for almost a decade. So thank you for that.
Yeah, so before this turns into another Mustafa. By the way, this is we are recording this live. We are together, so you will definitely see that difference in the energy of the overall episode. I would like to kickstart, Ashish, by asking you. There's a lot of curiosity when sighted people get to know that we use mobiles and we do access all the things that they access. So doubling down on that curiosity, how does an average day for you look like with your mobile? What do you usually do?
The way I use the accessibility features, especially on the Android. You mean the accessibility features?
No. In general, how does an average day look like for you?
In general, mine is a mixed approach of using my mobile phone because there are times when I might feel the need for turning on my talkback because you always nag me sometimes for not being a proper visually impaired.
Oh yeah, so I think let me set that context also. So would you also like to explain your vision condition, Ashish?
Yeah, it's a degenerative vision, especially macular degeneration combined with retinitis pigmentosa. It's a platter of impairments that I have. So it is in a way degrading my vision day to day. With every passing day I see less from yesterday. So I tend to use magnification more often than talkback, and that's a constant complaint I get from Uma Shankar, not using talkback frequently.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, it's a mixed approach where I rely more on magnification than talkback. Whenever there is a long message popping on WhatsApp or any other messaging app, or when there is a PDF to be read out, only then I tend to turn on my talkback. Otherwise, it's a tendency. It has been a tendency for the past decade because I see bits and pieces of my mobile phone screen. So it is maybe natural tendency which I might overcome soon because, as I told you, I'm going on seeing less and less with every passing day. So one day, Uma Shankar, as you say, I might completely switch to talkback.
Yeah, on that very positive note, we must definitely have a seat in the hell ready for us. But yeah, so basically for the audience, we do use something called screen reader. It is inbuilt. It's not an additional feature that it's not like an advanced piece of tech that we use. It is inbuilt into every phone, right from a 5,000 rupees phone to these super costly phones. So on Android ecosystem it is called talkback. The screen reader is called talkback, and on Apple ecosystem it is called voiceover. Both of them function similarly when it comes to basics. They have their own quirks, and like Ashish is saying, there are other vision accessibility features which are also again inbuilt. both the Android and Apple ecosystems have magnification. Because we are talking about the ecosystems, and even in Android, there are different. Samsung has a different OS, Oppo has a different OS, OnePlus has a different OS. So, what do you think? Which do you think is the best?
Before we talk about the differences among ecosystems, as you were introducing the accessibility features available on all the devices, I could recollect a small anecdote. One of my colleagues, he was very much fascinated by this talkback feature. Once I was sitting in my staff room in my school and I was using it. So he was so fascinated and he asked me what that was. So, and I opened my phone and also his phone and showed him in all the phones there is something called accessibility, in which we find this feature called talkback. So he loved it so much. He generally listens to Bible every day.
Right.
And he uses what do we say, some audio
text to speech
apps, right? Instead of reading it by looking into the screen, what he does is he turns on that play button on TTS or whatever app he uses for audio Bible. He found it more interesting than that app. So he would just use the Bible that he reads every day. Instead of opening the TTS app feature, whatever he uses, today he uses talkback.
Oh, nice.
So and he showed it to his kids. His kids also found it fascinating. They are also using it.
should we say praise the Lord?
Praise the Lord.
Yeah. No, but it's very fascinating, right? It's actually useful even for senior citizens who are using their smartphones. Right. For someone to read, say, a very long WhatsApp message or something like that, talkback is very useful.
Even for a sighted person, staring into the screen is very
for a long time
draining for them. Yeah. It drains out a lot of energy. So for them, it's very useful. Even sighted person can use it. Yeah. So now steering our conversation towards the differences among the ecosystems.
Yeah.
Primarily, there are two major umbrellas. One is the Apple ecosystem, and another one is the Google Android ecosystem. Right. So I used iPhone around 2014. It was iPhone 5s. I did not know that accessibility was so refined and polished. Back then, I used to have a better vision than now.
Right.
So it was not accessibility that drove me towards getting an iPhone, but I just took it.
It must be your richness.
No, I received it as a gift from my uncle.
Then it must be the richness of your uncle.
My uncle, praise my uncle.
Right.
So back then I did not realize how smooth, how refined it was. After I switched to Android, I started realizing the difference actually. Right. Before that, I had an Android phone, but I was never
into using
accessibility at all.
Yeah.
Right. So I started using these accessibility features only from iPhone. So once I switched to Android, after that phone had to taste dust someday. So,
my God, yeah, shows that you're an English teacher, I guess. Yeah.
So after that I switched to Redmi, the OG Redmi Note 5 Pro.
It's basically Xiaomi's Redmi Note 5 Pro. Yeah, my God, that brings back a lot of memories. Yeah.
Right. So from iPhone going to Android, there were many differences among them, right from reading a PDF to scrolling across Wikipedia. The integration of the Safari browser with what do you call it on iPhone? What is the talkback feature called?
VoiceOver,
right?
Yeah, VoiceOver.
So distant memories. So so VoiceOver is very well integrated with the browsers, as opposed to all the Android phones, right from the 10K worth phone to something that Uma Shankar has, which he now and then flexes, of 1.3 lakhs, Samsung Galaxy phone.
This is going to be edited. This is going to be edited out from this episode.
So, see, all the Android devices, regardless of their price, have something lacking in them as opposed to the iPhone, which is basically in layman's terms what we can call integration, I think.
Optimization.
Optimization,
Yeah.
right? Because and one more thing, as I said, the major umbrellas are Apple ecosystem, which has voiceover, and the other one is the Android ecosystem, which has talkback. Even among the Android phones, each brand has their own customized, what do you call it, skin, right?
Correct.
Skin, the
UI.
custom
The
UI.
Correct.
That brings a lot of differences even among the Android phones. So a Samsung device might use talkback in a different way, might read out things very clearly, or maybe
No, not so much in 2026, I would say. It's not the major things that you notice or that bug you as you use your phones. But I think it's these minor. See, for example, I have used a Xiaomi phone, I have used a OnePlus phone, and right now I'm using a Samsung phone. I think there are very clear changes in the clear differences in terms of the small things. So
but I remember you struggling with the previous phone.
oh yeah,
Let us
sorry,
not
that's
mention
like
brand.
no, I'm
But
happy.
there it was the custom UI which was to be
Correct.
blamed,
So I
right?
was using an iQOO phone, which is a subsidiary of Vivo. So Vivo has something called FunTouch OS. Now they've got a new upgrade. It's called Origin. Both of these have very major optimization issues, like that hamper your everyday access to the phone. For example, while answering a call, while using
You
navigation
mean to say when you are supposed to pick a call, it does not read the caller's
immediately. So basically, for example, it says call from sim 1. It basically says all the details, like call from sim 1, all the elements on the screen, answer button, decline button, send message, everything.
By then the poor guy might disconnect the call.
Everything except for what's actually needed. That's the caller ID, right?
He seems to have missed many cab calls and
Yeah, a
Zomato
lot of-
delivery calls.
Yeah, so that's the that's the problem, right? So I think one thing that is right now very evident is that the optimization across, and no matter how costly phone you use, is underwhelming, to say the least. It's not ideal right now. But at the same time, like you were saying, the optimization on iPhone is really good. Like the way it is integrated, voiceover is integrated with your Safari, with your messages, with your phone app, is brilliant. But again, unfortunately, you are left with very less number of choices if you are visually impaired. Now every choice that you make will come with some compromises. You're having to forego some, like for example, if you choose iPhone, first you will have to forego your kidney, that's for sure. But apart from that, you're going to compromise on the customization of the phone. You're going to compromise on a lot of things, like battery, for example. One of the most useful necessary things for visually impaired. So your battery life is not as much as an Android 4, right? So but if you choose good battery, good customization, slightly more budget friendly option, then you are going to compromise on the optimization of talkback. So I think in 2026, that's where we as a visually impaired community are right now.
See, that's where but what you said was custom UI these days is more or less the same, and there are only minor differences. But when we pick a phone, see, you and I talk about phones a lot, and even before buying a phone, we ask each other, right? We just want some.
Although we don't listen to each other's suggestions,
we seek some validation from each other.
Yeah.
So we always ask the other person that whether that UI is accessible
enough or
not.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say his previous phone was not at all accessible. Therefore, I would never go for any phone of that brand.
Correct.
So therefore, custom UI is the deal breaker here. It is the decisive part here. So
Yeah.
even with the minor differences.
True. See, I think that's true. That's definitely true. But I think one thing why we ask each other, not just you and me, I get a lot of phones from other visually impaired saying, I'm planning to buy this phone. Is this accessible enough for me? That's because for very long time, for the initial, till COVID, I would say, till 2021, there used to be a glaring difference between these UIs. Because historically there were a lot of differences, major differences. I think that is ingrained in our community ki there are some phones which are accessible, there are some phones which are not at all accessible. I don't think it's that it's the same case right now in 2026. All the phones are fairly accessible, but it's sad that I'm saying fairly accessible because there's no other choice. I am saying it is accessible because there's no ideal situation. I know for a fact that it's not going to be optimized properly optimized anytime soon. I think it's just my hunch as an end user that it's not being tested enough. It's not being tested enough by enough visually impaired to see different use case scenarios.
So it is just the sighted people sitting at Google assuming that this is helpful. No, there is no shortcoming in intent. You mean to say?
No, I'm saying it's an outrageous allegation to say there are only sighted people testing it out. I wouldn't dare to say that. But I'm just feeling that they're not being tested enough on different phones. See, back then, if you go back to say 2015, there were only few phones. And very like Oppo, Vivo used to be absolutely inaccessible for screen reader users. So there was Nexus, there was OnePlus, of course, there was Xiaomi, and then what else? Apart from this Oppo, Vivo, there's hardly any Moto. Moto basically had the same UI as the stock Android, like the Google, right? So same UI. So I think the testing used to be simpler back then, I guess. I don't know. I mean, this is just my speculation. But yeah, that's one part. What Google is doing and not doing with TalkBack. But I would still say there used to be a fairly equal responsibility with the phone brands to ensure that what they do in general as a software, it has to be optimized for TalkBack. It looks very dark and dim, the last 15 minutes of our conversation. But what are some of the good things that you've discovered that might be an app or a feature or something that aids you in your accessibility?
The latest one, I've been using it for the past 1.5 year. It's called Tech Freedom, which has been quite good at OCR. I mean, I get many PDFs on my occupational space. I mean, my professional groups, where people just scan a few pages and they just drop it using Adobe Scanner or Doc Scanner, which is very difficult for us to read even using screen readers.
Correct, because it's essentially a photo.
Yeah. So now we have describe screen, describe image, but still it's always good to have a separate app which is meant for document reading. Because it can separate page by page, it can go page by page. But describe screen, I don't think every time for every page you will have to ask.
Yeah, basically every time you have to trigger that option of describe image.
Right. So instead of that, it's always better to have a document reader. And Tech Freedom, it looks like I'm promoting this app.
That's okay, you should. I mean, if it is good, you should.
It is good. So yeah. It has many other features also, some ancillary features like news. They provide everyday news, currency reading. There are many things.
Have you used Kibo?
No, I wanted to use it, but I was planning on purchasing it. But by then I got a recommendation from somebody about this app.
So you have never used both of them?
I used Kibo for a very brief period. But when I switched to this app, I found it very convenient. It has other features also.
Is it also paid, Tech
Yeah,
Freedom?
it is paid. There is free version also available, but it has a paid subscription of some 199 or 299 per year.
My God, that's like cheaper than a pizza, dude.
Yeah, so it's good. It works very well, and it has audio reading. You can scan an entire book. Let's say there is a PDF, a book of some 200 pages. Once you get the OCR done, you can give there is an option of narration
Fast
or reading.
forward.
No, that is there. It reads out like an audiobook. That feature is also available.
Oh, you mean to say it has that
we
human...
don't need the talkback feature anymore. We can just press the play button.
Acha.
It keeps on reading like an audiobook.
But what voices does
It has options of, we can even select the 11 labs. There is 11 labs available on it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, because...
We can select the corpus of all the voices. There were 3 or 4 options. I go for 11 labs. So
Yeah, because clearly 11 labs is the most human sounding. So, Tech Freedom. This is
this is Tech Freedom.
I have very briefly used Kibo, but I have never used Tech Freedom, and I don't remember the user experience that I had with Kibo. But yeah, it sounds like this is a cool app, Tech Freedom. One thing that I found life changing in the last 1 year is the describe feature, man. See, I work in the creative field. Every day in and day out, I get a lot of graphics that are made by my designers. There are a lot of there are a lot of scanned
there might be a lot of
PDFs.
colors.
Yeah.
There might be a lot of activity happening on the image.
Right? So one thing that transformed my life is that describe image feature, and after that, after 6 months, 6 months later, they have also described screen. Described screen introduced me to so many things in my life. Like, for example, whenever we travel on these private buses, right, they give you a tracking link to track where your bus is. Generally, most of these are some locally made software that they use. So the tracking link, when you click on the tracking link, none of it is accessible. The whole screen is just like a slab of glass for you.
Okay.
So what I do is I trigger this describe screen feature, and it reads out the whole thing. It says there is a bus icon that is shown, which is closer to the so and so place, which the ETA. There's a text that says ETA 4 minutes or something like that. And then it also gives me the other ancillary information, like the bus is surrounded by a few shops. Shops like Arun Ice Cream, Sri Balaji Sweets. See, that's freedom, that's empowerment, dude. Because as a visually impaired, say you're traveling on a bus or on a cab, you don't know what's sighted look outside the window and they see all these shops and all, but you never get to do that. But with these apps, there's also one more app. I forgot its name. I forgot that. I'll pin the name in the show notes. But which basically, if you turn on the navigation, on top of telling you the take left, take right, and all of that, it also tells you there's Canara Bank on your right side. There is a bakery on your left. I don't know why I keep giving only eatery examples, but
Tech Freedom also has the navigation features, and it has almost everything that a visually impaired needs. Actually, there is AI also.
I want to catch hold of these Tech Freedom people and get them onto the podcast.
Please.
Because I want to know. This is so interesting, man. I will also go in install this app. Very interesting. Okay, I think that's the general picture. We praised a lot. First we started praising the Lord, and then we
hail my uncle,
and then we praised iPhone, Apple ecosystem a lot, rightly so. But I think it's not all gloom and doom on Android as well, but it lacks that finesse that iPhone brings. But yeah, it's been a lovely conversation. Thank you so much, Ashish. Thanks everybody for tuning into this episode of Yours Accessibly. There's more coming your way, so please stay tuned. Until then, you have a good one.
The caravan moves on. Stay tuned for another episode of Yours Accessibly next week. Don't forget to follow Help the Blind Foundation on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Until the next one.